Welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. I know what some of you are thinking, starting a new channel in 2025 in this economy, that's pretty bold. But honestly, there's never been a better time to start. 5 years from now, so many people are gonna wish they had started a channel this year because of how fast YouTube is surpassing traditional streaming platforms. I just saw a graphic yesterday that illustrated this idea perfectly. It showed a person sitting on a timeline that represented their life, and they were looking backwards into the past, regretting not starting on their goal in the previous few years. But then we see that they're completely unaware of all the opportunities right in front of them on the future part of the timeline. And imagine in 2050, people who did start a channel in 2025 are going to be stoked that they did. My name is Matthew Watts. I'm the creator of the Fleeting Films channel where I started the Discount Dentist series that I published on YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat Discover. But I created this channel solely to talk about content strategy, how I hit 5 billion views online, and to introduce a new program I built called Viral Creator Pro. This program is built around two courses, the Viral Blueprint and Master Blueprint. I personally love online courses, which is why I'm so excited about this. But I have noticed that in recent years, some of the courses I've been seeing have become more and more confusing. They offer overlapping packages, perhaps trying to portray that it's a really great deal, but it makes it hard to tell where the value really is. So I knew if I was going to build a course, I wanted to make it as simple and effective as possible. That's why I've created just two options, laser focused on what I found matters the most when it comes to growing online and making content full-time. The first one, Viral Blueprint, is for creators who want to get more views on their videos. Master Blueprint is for those who want to go beyond views, learning monetization, scaling content, and turning this into a full-time career. In other words, Viral Blueprint teaches people how to make amazing content that people actually want to watch, and Master Blueprint teaches what to do with it, where to post it, which platforms to use, how to repurpose content, and how to monetize it. If someone had told me 5 years ago, pay me a few $1,000s and I'll teach you content strategies that will make you hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, I would have taken that deal in a heartbeat. I really do love online courses, which is actually a big part of why I wanted to create something like this in the first place. Back in 2020, I was taking courses to learn filmmaking, to pass my FAA drone license exam, and to even improve my audio recording skills. But none of those courses really applied to getting enough views online to make a living from it. There just wasn't anything out there that effectively taught both long and short form strategy. So I had to teach myself. And this course is my shortcut for creators who don't want to spend years figuring things out the hard way like I did. Looking at the financial success I've had with my channels, I know that if a course like this had existed 5 years ago, it would have been worth every penny. I would have gladly paid thousands of dollars for this info just to avoid the months of trial and error that I went through. The time I spent figuring things out the hard way cost me more than any course ever could. There was actually a solid 5-month period where I was spending every single day experimenting, testing different videos, and trying to crack the code. But during that initial period where I'd gone all in, I wasn't making any money and I definitely wasn't going viral. However, once I finally understood how the platforms were evolving the way they pull videos in for viewers, a lot of things finally clicked and everything changed. I started getting results fast, racking up millions of views and monetizing. And the amazing thing is that since then, my channels have continued to grow consistently regardless of how many views I get on new videos because I have a loyal audience now. But since my strategies kept evolving, I can see that if I had utilized everything I know now back then, who knows how much further I could have taken it. I could have doubled or even tripled my income in those early years. That's exactly why I built this course, to give creators the shortcut that I never had. Spending hours on a video only to watch it flop is frustrating. If you've been through that, you already probably know why I felt so compelled to create this program. It's designed to guide you step by step through your own structured process so you feel confident about what you're posting. Instead of wondering if you've put out your best work, this gives you a repeatable system so that every time you hit publish, you know you've made something built to perform. And it's inevitable that if you continue to apply these strategies and develop your process with care, your views will continue to grow. I know that not everyone can afford to wait years to start monetizing like I did, and you shouldn't have to. Every creator has ideas waiting to surface, but most people don't know how to turn these into watchable, engaging videos. This course provides the solution. It's the system that brings your ideas to life and teaches you how to make videos people won't want to scroll past. I've used this framework on my own content for years, but the real potential of this system is unlocked when other creators start using it. That's why I can't wait to see what you come up with and what kind of results you get when you put this into action. When I was researching the best way to deliver this information, I started getting hit with ads for courses on content creation and viral growth myself. And honestly, I was pretty disappointed by what I saw. Complicated packages full of upsells, people giving bad advice while claiming they had the secret to going viral when they clearly didn't. Some even flat out lied about their own experience or their growth. I saw so many people teaching others how to go viral without ever going viral themselves. Or maybe they had a couple of videos blow up and were now using that to make money off of others, but they never actually lived as a full-time creator for years like I have. And so many of these courses were built around strategies that don't actually work for most creators. They were made by people who came from big production teams in the industry they came from that they were leveraging to make content, something that most creators don't actually have access to. Or they're built around doing outrageous public stunts. Or they just rely on gimmicks or shock value instead of teaching a real system that's repeatable and sustainable long term. Or worse, they're just telling people things they already know, like have a good hook without actually explaining how to do it. That's why I built Viral Creator Pro. This course isn't about gimmicks, it's about real strategies that work and will help you build content around what you actually care about. And for me, that passion is teaching, breaking down processes, finding better, more efficient ways to do things, and helping others succeed. That's one of the things I've always been most passionate about. In every job I've ever had, I felt most fulfilled when I was in a teaching or mentoring role. Even when I worked in finance, I was the first to volunteer to build training materials for my department. Over the past 10 years, I've spent so much time in learning environments, either through formal education or self-study. I've taken brokerage exams, acquired complicated designations, and even led teams teaching others how to pass these same exams. Teaching is just something I've always loved to do. Back in 2020, I'd actually started making tips and tricks videos about how to succeed on TikTok when I only had 20,000 followers. But I didn't want to teach something that I hadn't tested thoroughly. So I actually put that content on hold because I wanted to make sure I could replicate my results over and over again before I taught other people. Since then, I've gained over 1 million followers across 3 platforms. Over 500 of my videos have passed 1 million views. I've made more money than I was making in my stable finance career, even factoring in bonuses and raises I would have received over the years. This method has now been proven time and time again. Because these strategies are working so well, I actually stepped away from making the tips and tricks videos for almost 5 years. I was just too busy making viral content, refining my approach, and proving that these strategies weren't lucky one-offs. They were repeatable, predictable, and reliable. But now that I've tested them over and over again, I know it's time to share everything that I've learned with you. Because if these methods helped me generate millions of views across hundreds of videos, I know they can work for you too. As you learn this formula and start applying it to your own niche, many of you, if not all of you, have the potential to gain even more views than I ever have. One of the things I'm most excited about is seeing what you create, especially after the 7-day challenge at the end of the Viral Blueprint course. When you complete your enrollment in the course, you'll also have access to a community of like-minded creators, people you can bounce ideas off of and get feedback from. I'm super excited about this channel that will be dedicated to take established channels to the next level while also building up the next generation of creators. Please feel free to let me know in the comments what you most want to see posted on this channel, or if you have any questions about the course. I really want to have this new community as involved as possible with the content posted on this channel, so I'll always be looking for your input. In the next video, we'll talk about the top 5 myths when it comes to creating content and how knowing them can change the way you approach your production process.